Hey guys, Tim here. I am out on my second summer scouting trip for 2019. I am at a different spot that I was at than I was at on the last video. Actually, this is the same unit that I did the Google Earth scouting. Uh, I don't know if any of y'all watched that. If you did, good for you. If not, by all means, go check it out. I put a lot of easy to do information for your scouting from Google Earth for what to look for, where you're going, little stuff like that, and how to plan your scouting trip. This is the same unit. I'm in a different section of it though. I'm going to concentrate more on the back side and check everything out. I'll be employing different tactics on this scouting trip than I did that one. Mainly because I've learned more since then, and different ways of looking at things. Uh, so I'm gonna head out. I've got my permethrin covered clothes on because it's the middle of or the end of June and there's plenty of ticks. I'm gonna load my backpack up with water, and this time I'm gonna make sure and put something in there for milkweed pods because I found a lot of milkweed last time and didn't have anything to do with it. Couldn't go anywhere with it. Just stuck it in my pocket. But anyway, I'm about to head out. I'm gonna finish getting everything ready and then I'm gonna start that way. I'll check back with you in a bit. Alright. I got out here. I've literally walked no more than 200 yards from the gate, and I have found my first bedding area. It was actually kind of a surprise. I did expect to see some bedding around this close to the gate, just because Dan Enfault always says, a lot of the times they'll hang out close to the gate so they can watch you come in and watch you go out, know when you're here. And I see another deer right there. I don't know if I can zoom in. I can't even see her anymore. It was a big doe. She was right over there. But anyway, I'm right here. Let me get out of the sun. I come up on this. I watched the doe run out of it as I was walking up. She saw me coming in, which is kind of the point of why she was here. But the thing is, this right here would be an excellent buck bedding. Alright, you can see right here, I don't know if you can tell, right there is where she was bedded. Okay, let me back up. Right up against this big old tree. The sun is like just playing hell with the camera. But right up against this tree, she's got an escape route right there. That's where she went as I was walking up. She's got an escape route right there. The wind is currently blowing this way. It is a kind of mostly west wind right now, which The predominant wind here during winter and fall is actually southeast, southwest, unless there's a cold front coming in. But another part, she's backed up against this tree, this is a great buck bed right here. Look out here, and it's just all open. They can see everything coming this way. They can see when people come in. Right there is the entrance. Literally, right over there by them trees. That's where I walked in at. And I walked my way around through right over here by the cedar trees. There's a little gap in the briar brush there. And that's where I was walking in. And I was about just behind that cedar tree when I seen her take off. But right here, this is what you're looking for. And I'll do what Infalt does. I'll basically sit down in the bed and look and see what the buck can see. Now, that briar brush right there in front of me is going to stay there. It doesn't go away in the wintertime. It stays just as high, might turn a little brown, but it's still going to be there. And it doesn't necessarily turn brown until like literally December, January. So, in order to hunt this deer, I could, if I was really good, I could sneak in, stay down low all the way from there, or I could come and cut to the left or the right out of the gate there, sneak around behind these trees right here and set up with a ghillie suit close to these, or possibly over here in this area, because come about October, season starts September 29th. Come about October 15th or so, that live oak tree right there is going to be dropping acorns. And that buck, he's got this one right here, live oak. It's going to be dropping acorns. Get up with a west wind, hit that tree, and probably zip right over there to that one. Now the problem with around here is, unless you actually get into the thick woods, you're not going to find any trees to hang a stand in. And so you got to do a lot of ground hunting here. And you can build a brush blind or whatever if you do it early enough in your scouting, like now, or possibly maybe in August at the latest. Build it up good, let it sit there, let them get used to it. You can hunt out of a brush blind. The only thing, this public land, of course, you're not allowed to cut anything, so you got to find dead wood, and over there there's probably not going to be a whole lot of dead wood, so it would literally be just holding up inside those briars or in that brush over there. And I don't know exactly where I would set up. It would depend on the wind. Also, come over here Right there's the fence, private line. It would be nearly impossible to come in on this back side unless I went way around. Here's the trail that they were using right here. She was probably holed up in here at some point. And the thing is all that briar brush right there, if there's little pockets in there, them does will be bedded up in there too, because it offers decent cover. They can hear you, if not see you, coming. It would be difficult to hunt this spot right here because there's no way to get set up. But I'm probably going to try to figure something out, because I can picture a buck hanging out right here where he can watch that gate, and he will know that somebody's coming. If I could find a way to sneak in here and set up on him without him seeing me, without him smelling me, on a west wind, he'll have these trees to his back with the wind blowing over him, and he'll be able to see out, and he'll think he's safe. If I can find a way to get in here and set up without him knowing I'm here, I might have a chance to get him. And that's the goal right there, is that might have a chance. So that's the first bed. I've already marked it on my phone, on my app. I'm literally just 200 yards in, and I already found the first bed. And you saw that bed right now in the middle of June, middle of summer. It's almost impossible to see those beds. I just walked through these hardwoods here. There's a lot of trails in there, and I'd probably be able to find some deer, but the thing is about it is there's probably going to be a lot of lazy hunters up in there, because it looks so great. You're going to be able to set up, find the deer, not have to do a lot of work, and I'd probably be able to get a doe or something out of there, but I don't really want, like, I'm out here for the big bucks. So anyway, I come out in this little clearing, and there's a water hole here. Now, it being late June, I'm actually surprised there's still a water hole here. But there it is, a water hole surrounded by trees. And you know what? My first thought was, oh man, this would be great. Then you know what my second thought was? It's right here beside the gate. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the county is going to think the same thing, because everybody that comes and scouts this is going to find this. So, I mean, there's several trees around here that are probably great to set up in and all that, and I guarantee you everybody in the county is going to set up here on different days. So this place is going to be burned out unless you are literally the first person here. September 29th, you set up here and nobody else has a chance. But also, the trail that leads through those woods walks right out into it. So everybody else that's coming in is going to walk right out into it. This place is literally going to be ruined in a heartbeat. They'll only come out at night here to get a drink. So, yeah. It would be great if it was a little bit further back. I would love it. But first off, might as well just mark it off, because there's no point in even hunting here. I'm not going to do it. Everybody else can sit here and spin their wheels on this, where everybody else is going to be hunting. It's not for me. I'm hunting the big bucks. I'm not hunting the fawns that are still going to come out when people are still here. Okay, I've made it a good ways back here on this property, and I come up to one of the first places I wanted to check. It's a little point of timber. It comes out to a nice little point right here. You can see. I'll impose a picture of it on Google Earth to show you exactly what I'm talking about. But this right here, I can see being great buck bedding right up in here. It's nice and covered. They can hide in there, and yet they can see all of this. I can see anybody coming through all that. I can picture that being fantastic buck bedding. You can't really tell. It looks like there may be some beds in there. It's hard to tell because there's not a lot of grass, but what is there is laid over like they've been laying in there. I don't see any rubs or anything like that, but this is somewhere I will be checking out later in the year and possibly hunting. I can't imagine that I would be able to get in any of these trees unless it's that mesquite tree right out there. That one right there. But that's a little bit far out. And they may come across here, but generally they're not going to walk across the open field unless they know for a fact that they're safe, and this being public land, they ain't going to know that. They're going to know quite the opposite. But this little area here, you can tell where the lake got up, killed all the underbrush. I'm going to step back there into that opening back there. This is somewhere I'll certainly be checking out. And this would be a perfect place for a nice mobile stand. Mobile setup. Some sticks. And a saddle or a light hang on. There's a few trees around here that you could set up in. Maybe that little group of trees right there. Get up in it. Hang on one of those thicker ones, pull some limbs out of your way, and have a clear shot at this transition line right here. So that's what I'm looking for. That's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for out here. I'm not just looking for sign, I'm looking for where. If I were a deer, I would set up. That's the plan. That's the game. Think like a deer. There's a rub right there. Just not much of one on that tree. And it's a high rub too. High rubs mean big bucks. As things stand right now, the water has been up for probably about a month. We had a lot of spring and summer rains this year. So all this, the underbrush is dead. Deer haven't been in here much, There's not going to be a lot of tracks. They're just now starting to come back in here. What I'm counting on, this being a good area, once that water's been down for several months now, come deer season, the deer are going to move back in here. And they're going to start setting up back in here again on these nice little transition lines. And setting up, bedding, they'll move right back in. What I'm saying, they're going to move right back in after things settle back down to normal. They're not going to stay out just because the water's been up. The water's going to come up every year. They'll get out while it's gone. While it's up, and then they'll come back in once it's gone. And this will also help their feeding, because a lot of the plants that die out, they'll come back up, they'll be nice and green. And in case y'all haven't noticed, spider webs are a freaking nightmare. But they're going to come right back in here and start nibbling on this green foliage here. It's hard to judge a natural food source around here. Majority of it is hackberry. I've looked it up. There's a few other things that are hard to identify. But as time goes by, I'll be able to identify them as I watch them. Try to find what they're eating, try to find the deer. But this whole area here is a whole bunch of really decent places for bedding. Good places to hide, easy escape routes through the trees. There's another one right over there that I like. And since I can't find the actual beds for the most part right now, beds are hard to find down here, period. But what I'm mostly looking at is the potential for beds. The potential for places they would set up so they can see. This little clump of trees right here comes out to a nice little point. They could set up right in here. I could see all over the place. This is another good spot here. And see, right here. This is a bed. You can see basically where they're laying down. They're right here in the shade. This is more for an east wind. They can see all that. They have water right over here. There's a little water hole right over there. This is an excellent place for a bed. I can picture a buck in here. Okay, I literally just turned the camera off and decided to come over here and check this little area over here. And I jumped a doe and a fawn right here. Pretty sure I didn't see her when she jumped. I just seen the fawn going off through the bushes. But I'm pretty sure she was laying right up, backed up to that brush pile there. which means out here she could see me the whole time I was walking out there. Whole time I was walking around out there. But when she gets up, she's gonna, as long as I don't spook her further back, she's gonna come out, come right down out through here, come out this little hole, most likely she's gonna wander down this transition line here, or down this transition line over here, make her way over there to those live oaks that are going to be dropping acorns, so I could set up in pretty much any one of those trees right there and have a clear shot at her if I could sneak in here. Since she could see mostly over here, if I come in with the right wind, I could come in on this side, sneak around, set up in this tree right here, possibly. It's hard to set up in the live oaks. Or if I had the right setup, I could set up in this mesquite tree here. There's not much cover there though. Maybe this tree. And I could catch them coming through. And it could just as easily be a buck. Okay, I'm up in another little point here, just a little bit further back, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera. There is a little bed here, right here. You can see the little U here. It looks like a fawn bed to me right now, but you got the same thing. They can see out. See that field there? They can have the wind coming in from all this brush. Know if anything's creeping up on them from behind. Plus, around here, they're gonna hear you if you try to walk through that. I don't think even the bobcats can get through that without making some noise. But if they see you, they got an escape route right through there. And then, if they've got a good east wind, they can sit up here, and right up there is some Mustang grapes that are falling. They got a food source literally right here. So this is a good bedding spot. I don't know, I've never really paid attention to how long the Mustang grapes fall, how long they stay on the vine, but I imagine this place would still be good come November. They're definitely using it right now though. All this area right here. Okay, I'm in a spot now that is a classic come to a point, exactly what they're talking about on all those videos. I'll show a picture of it. I took a picture of it with my phone of the bird's eye view. It is absolutely perfect I've no doubt there's probably deer bedding up in here. You can see nice and open. Mainly it's open right now because the lake had got up. It was probably all underwater. The cattle come in here a lot, clearly. But I'm still seeing a few deer tracks. Nothing real big, no rubs. But right out there, you can see is the lake. This is literally just the point that I'm in. There's bound to be some deer bedding in here. And what I'm thinking is come deer season, a lot of this vegetation is going to be dead. And I'll be able to come in possibly by boat and set up something that I could just come in with the boat right out there, dock the boat, and sneak in here and try to catch one off guard. Like there's some tracks. Not huge, but not small. There are some fairly big ones here. I think this is a really good spot. Coming out, literally just walking this transition line out of the briars, but yet close enough to where they can stay semi-hidden. One of them trees possibly, if they go this way, like, oh my goodness, look at that one. That's a big one. Yeah, they're literally walking right along the edge of these briars. I can see them bedding right in there. Got a trail going in there. They'd be nice and hidden. That is probably a bed there. I could probably maybe get in that big tree right there. Right up there about where that limb is sticking out, the first limb. Or I could come down here they don't appear to be traveling down here very much, but they are some. I see a few tracks. And get one of these willows. That cottonwood right there, I like it. I like this cottonwood over here too. this one. But I'd be awful high up for that one to be in any kind of cover. That's every bit of 25 foot. Maybe that one there, that wouldn't be bad. That little one there. That wouldn't be too bad. And I'd still have clear access to these trails. Where they're clearly traveling. I like that one. That's a good tree. I can set up right up there above that branch, and there's a clear opening there. Even after the the leaves start falling off, there's still plenty of branches there to give me some cover. I got good cover, got good access to the trails. They literally come right past this tree. Catch the wind, just off wind would be perfect for right here. Sneak in on the boat, sneak my way around. Alright, I'll mark this place for sure. Definitely. Alright. Okay, well, it's been about 2.5 hours since the last time I recorded anything. Made it all the way back to the back of the property, but I was thoroughly unimpressed with it. I have no doubt there's probably deer back there, but it's just all mesquite. No mesquite and really thick juniper, which it's almost impossible to find a spot to set up in that kind of crap. So I decided it wasn't worth the effort. There's probably big deer back there, but it does butt up right up against private property, and they probably hunt in that area too, so not worth the effort. But I'm walking back out, and it's about 95 degrees and hot, and I decided to stop in the shade, take me a break, drink me some water. And as I was getting ready to pack up and leave, I looked up and I seen this rub. This is a big rub, an old rub. This is clearly one that they've been using for years. It's the only explanation for this tree to look like this. And you can tell it was used last year. All the bark is gone on the edges. And it's in the center of the rub, right there. Probably about 1.5 feet high. And it's huge. It's a huge rub. I don't see any more on any of these mesquite trees here. But what I may do before I leave is I may walk around just a few minutes, because it's hot and I'm ready to get the heck out of here, and look, see if there's a tree that I might be able to sneak into, throw a hang on in. But I'll look around, see what I can figure out. I probably will not check back in until I get back to the truck unless I find something else. Like I said, I'm sure you can tell just by my face, I'm hot, it's humid, I got 1 bottle of water left, and I'm ready to get the heck out of here. I'll catch you in a bit.